in the whole squad. Where the mic's at? In the studio. Oh, it's like that. Conversations with the people like we ain't mad. Go ahead, vibe.
This is the clap test. This is the clap test. This is the clap test. This is the clap.
Nice. All right, cool. What it is, what it do. We're back here for another episode of Just Reset. As you can see, we have two guests. We have the lovely Jerosha and the awesome Dimitrius here with us. Hey. So let's get this started. How are you guys? How are you guys doing right now?
Man, I'm as good as a black woman could be.
Yeah, right. And in these situations, honestly, like we're just trudging along. Like it's, I don't know.
It's bad. It's real bad.
Yeah, honestly, just to get to the point, yeah, like honestly, as black people, like it's not even just black people, just overall, like the situation is just bad.
But it's good though. It's a good thing that this is happening due to the fact that like our generation and the generation after us is tired of it. We've seen how much everything's been going on compared to like our parents and our grandmothers and grandfathers. Like we've seen how much they've been through, and we're done. It's over.
Exactly.
Yeah. So if nothing's changing, we're gonna stand up and just, I don't know, we're gonna have to blow the shit down.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, like I knew, like we were never gonna be the people just to stand by and just let this all happen, and just like we've been like seeing this from like even since we were young, like learning this in like history books, even though they never really taught much about it. Like we could like grow up and like learn like, wait a minute, this is not right here. Like this shouldn't be happening like this, and it's just really unfortunate. So we're just gonna get into more about everything. So how
I'm gonna just say what you brought up about history real quick, because I have some shit to say about that. So look, check this out. So back when we were in school, back in the days when we were in middle school, high school, elementary, and you learn basic history, you learn the functionalities of the outcome of what happened, the war, the Civil War. First off, people that talk about the Civil War, they always saying like with the Confederate flag, how it's not racist. I personally feel that the Confederate flag is racist.
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
just my opinion.
I mean, you don't see people wearing swastikas.
Yeah. Exactly.
Seriously.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's one of the things that I disagree with. Like one of the things why like America hasn't been able to like just overcome like a lot of these situations is because like we haven't been able, like they haven't been able to atone for the past. Like like a lot of other countries have been able to acknowledge and atone their past, like the Germanys with the Nazis and South Africa with apartheid. Like they've been able to rectify what they've done to those people in the past. When America's over here just like, oh, Native Americans, oh wow, like
they just took their
they taught us how to like grow stuff and like fend for ourselves. So and then we just took their land. Yeah, exactly. Like like, oh, black people, like no, oh we abolished our those laws. Like they're treated equally. Come on, like no, that's the one thing that with America, like we've never been able to atone for those sins, and that's like that's partially something why I feel like the other half of like Americans who don't like see what we see, they're just over here just like there's nothing wrong.
We've already apologized.
Yeah, exactly. Like we've abolished those rules. Like obviously you guys have equal footing as us and everything. And
but that's not true though.
It's not, because
some of those laws are still in place. Some of those laws, if you actually go back, and I don't know if anybody's familiar with criminal justice or criminology or anything like that, but if you go back and still look at some of those laws, some of these laws are still implemented. Like for example, I can't remember where it was where I was reading, but I remember there's an HOA in one of these states that still you cannot house black people.
Really?
And that's a true thing, and people look at that because honestly today people do not read. People, when they get a contract, they're not reading it. They're gonna just look at it, sign it, call it a day.
Words are hard.
Exactly. So you have to actually start reading and understanding things that are in these rules, because some HOAs will say we can't have black people, and that was just one of the things that I saw. I honestly I cannot remember where it was, but I'm gonna have to find it and send it to you.
Yeah, honestly, we always gotta make sure facts are correct and all that.
But I did see that, and I was shocked. I was so shocked
crazy.
I was really shocked when I saw that. I was like, dang, bro, it's crazy out here in America. America.
Yeah. one of the craziest things is like, because like on Facebook, you know, I have all my Facebook friends and whatnot, and just like for me, it's just like some of the reasoning behind like why people feel like some of the way they do about like this whole situation. So like there's this one dude, oh my god, like I marched with him in like band and whatnot, and he swears that like there's no such thing as race. There's no racism. He's like I was telling you about this. Like he swears there's no racism, and like the reason behind it, and like a lot of like a few of these people believe this is because like, oh, like the numbers don't suggest that. Like they're like, you know, like he'll bring up like statistics from like, you know, like police records showing that like, you know, white people get killed at a like higher percentage than any other race here in America. And I'm sitting here just like, so what are all these thousands of people out here doing? Like if you really think, if you believe those numbers opposed to like these people coming out here and trying to make a difference, what are those numbers really telling you?
There's a few things with that. First of all, as we can see from these protests, even when there's a camera or a microphone, a telescope on the police, they'll still lie.
Yeah,
they'll still lie. They push that guy, that old guy.
Old man. Yeah.
And you know, the police report is like, he tripped.
Yes,
yeah,
I'm like, yo, like these people, these people lie in real time, and you know, there's like other people just don't believe that. They're just like, oh, well, you know, those are just a small like minority of cops who do that. Most cops, you know, I'd say like a good 95. I mean, I'm just quoting those people. Like 95% of cops do really well. Like those are just like the few bad cops that get caught, and then that's no reason for you guys to be outraging and protesting. I'm like.
It's not just the few
but
cops.
it's
not.
A few bad apples spoils the whole bunch,
yeah,
you know?
honestly.
It really does.
If you can sit in the same organization as all that and stay silent through all the abuse
Then that's
and
wild.
brutality,
You're part of the problem.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Silence is not the answer.
Yeah,
I feel like
definitely
Chris Rock said it best, where he was like, "Yeah, with your example with the good apples and bad apples, he's like, yeah, okay, we have a few bad pilots, so you know, a few of them can't land for you, but it's like you don't want a few bad pilots, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
all
exactly.
your pilots need to be great.
Yeah,
Exactly.
And that's the thing
Especially if you're gonna
with
be police, especially if
Yeah.
you're gonna
Yes.
be a police officer. That, like that, I'm gonna tell you guys, I wanted to be a police officer the minute I
I'm so
graduated.
happy you did it.
Like the minute I graduated high school and everything, I wanted to go to the academy and everything, pass all the BAT and the written portion, and getting ready to get into the academy. And then my friend, he just came out. This man literally said, "Bro, don't do it. All they do is they train you. Once they train you a certain way. You get trained a certain way." And I'm not sure how true that is completely across the board. Every academy is different, but
that's part of the problem.
that is part of the
It
problem.
needs to be centralized.
Yeah.
It does.
Exactly.
And how can police, like, you literally go into the academy for a year? You know that, right? 6 months to a year. Part-time is a year. Full-time is 6 months. So imagine that, where barbers literally have to take at least 2 years,
I know,
2
right?
years to get their degree, but you come out of the academy
Exactly.
within 6
For
months.
6 months, yeah.
Right? That's crazy.
Yeah, I did hear, I forget the state, it might be Minnesota, Mississippi, one of those, where they're actually thinking about licensing police officers
That'd
now.
be good.
That's what
Yeah.
we need. Because, I mean, the fact, like, again, like, being able to see, like the conflict between, like, peaceful protesters. I know that, like, there's looters and rioters, but, like, you'll see, like, peaceful protesters and, like, like, cops, and you'll see, like, the conflict between them, and you'll just see, like, how, like, some of these cops just handle the situation just, like, awfully. Like, it's just awful. Like,
Yeah.
and then, like, again, it's not like all the police departments, because, like, I feel like the way, police down here in South Florida, like, they've handled it, relatively well. They've been able to, like, quell, like, any situation that's gone on. But you'll see, like, in other states that, like, just whole entire precincts are just, like, just going wild. They just go swinging their batons everywhere, and people are just like, what the fuck, bro? Like, people are just peacefully just out here sitting down, and then, like, on a whim they start rushing, get on, start swinging their batons. I'm just like, all right, I guess that's how we solve this problem, but
I guess not.
no, shit, like, it's disgusting to see.
But I didn't see. I didn't see this shit happening when people were trying to protest to get their haircuts a few months ago.
Oh my god, dude! I
saying.
always see those videos.
I saw a video from this great YouTuber called Legal Eagle. Anyway, he's a lawyer from DC, and one of the great points, he was like, where are the Second Amendment, friends, who always want to protest with bring their guns. Where are they now?
Yeah.
I didn't see them.
I didn't see them at all. I didn't see them at
Exactly.
all.
Yeah, they were so up in the air last time, when they couldn't cut their hair.
Yeah.
Where are they now?
Yeah. Nails
Now,
done.
right now, they're just like, oh wow, look at all those looters and rioters,
Yeah.
like
They're
burning
probably out there
cities
getting
down.
their haircuts. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just saying. That's crazy.
Oh man, that's so
Like,
funny.
I just don't understand. Like, it's just so backwards, bro. Like, and honestly, like, I really don't even understand like where we're heading from right now. Honestly, the thing that I see now is that people are starting to realize it, and they're realizing it well.
Yeah.
Now that they're actually going out and what I'm trying to say is people need to start voting. We have to start voting.
Definitely.
Because honestly, the last election really showed us something. We have Hillary and Donald. Honestly, both horrible choices.
Yeah.
Even from the Democratic side and the Republican side, both horrible choices.
Yeah.
And now, honestly, now we have Joe Biden and we have Trump. So
It's still tough right now.
I know.
It says something that people wrote in Harambe. And that was like one of the highest candidates for the last election. That just says
really
the
think-
state of.
And I really think people didn't think that anything was going to happen.
Yeah,
with Donald Trump.
exactly.
I think there was a big chunk of people who thought either I'm not going to vote or I'm going to take this as a joke, write Bernie Sanders, write Harambe, or I'm going to, I'm literally going to vote my selected choice out of the two. And it's just like, and then I don't understand why people would. It mind boggles me. Like, literally mind boggles me the fact that people took Harambe and wrote it on there, or wrote Bernie Sanders, which my guy, love Bernie.
No, I'm with you.
Yes, exactly.
Bernie.
It's so disappointing.
But he just wasn't on the ballot. I just don't think people really took it as something that was very serious. They had to show up and show out for.
Yeah.
They don't realize that the each individual raindrop makes the storm.
Yeah.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah.
That was great.
Makes
Hey,
the storm. No, but yeah, definitely that is the case because when it was between Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders for this election term, it was
I'm not gonna lie, Bernie had my vote.
Yeah, no, definitely. He had my vote too.
Yeah,
but the problem is a lot of youth didn't go out and vote. They let Bernie Sanders down. When they did all those pollings and whatnot, a lot of people would just be like, yeah, Bernie all the way. But then when it actually came to the hold on one second.
Keep going.
Oh, okay. When it came to the actual going out and voting for him, they let him down. They didn't show up. That was the problem. I mean,
And that still might be the problem.
No, that is definitely part of the problem.
And it's scary.
Definitely the problem.
Yeah.
It's definitely the main cause too, because I feel like people just don't take voting seriously.
They don't.
Okay, if you know that there's more youth than there is, there's more people 18 and 25 that can vote and that are just not voting. Mm-hmm. Those votes in general, that's why people at a young age are like, hey, come to the army. Hey, come do this. Hey, come do that. Because they know that there's more youthful people right now who have more political power than we imagine.
Right.
Some of us don't even realize the level of political power we have. Our
exactly.
generation, our age group, our age range, even at the age of 30, all of us have more political power to vote for our upcoming future, for our children, for our next generation.
I just say we just need to get all the old white heads. They gotta go.
A total reset. Come on.
Exactly. There's so many brilliant young minds today, and yet we still have the same people in office, in all these different offices.
Yes.
And I don't understand.
There needs to be a term limit.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's one of the things that I want. Another thing that I just want, first off, besides getting all these old heads out of office, we need to put a limit. Why is it the president that only gets an 8-year term? A possible 8 years. But while the Senate, the people that actually write the laws and vote on the laws and all this stuff, they get 20 years in office, and then they just keep upping that, and they just keep getting reelected for as long as they can until like they're just old, shriveled up. They're just out of touch with society and like everything going on.
They're not seeing reality.
Exactly,
Yeah.
They're seeing reality 40 years ago.
Yeah, they know what they know, but they don't know like what we know. That's the problem. We need more people in office.
We need a technology test.
That will show a lot.
Yeah, honestly, like you see like other like great governments out there. Like I feel, well, I can't really attest to it. I just know because I see like New Zealand's president. She looks very young, so I'm assuming like the rest of the her Congress out there is whatever they have.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure they're like also young and like very like a part of the part
more
of the demographic.
People who are making decisions based on the now and not 60 years ago.
Yeah, exactly, and that's and that's also part of like. So that's like also that's America's like systemic I don't know the word I'm looking for, but that's like America's way of just like keeping power. Like that's part of that. They know what they're doing with that stuff.
Oh no, bro, he's scared. They scared.
No, they're scared. They're keeping silent right now. They're just like, oh shit, what's like gonna go down right now?
They're going after like Twitter and now all that shit.
Oh yeah,
yeah, trying to silence it. Yeah,
or you're talking about like Trump trying to silence.
They're silencing like hashtags like the Black Lives Matter.
Yeah,
that's happening. They're kind of like silencing.
Some is like he's on like his crony size, like he's not with the people right now.
Yeah, and that's the thing, bro. Like I was looking at that. I was looking at some of his videos too. Like some of his interviews that he did with like the I believe the Senate. Don't quote me because I just know it was part of one of those videos. But he did do one of those videos where he was talking about like where the government can like go through Facebook, they can go through your internet browsers and stuff like that.
Yeah, sorry, I don't want to cut you off. The FBI, like
there we go.
They passed they like the Senate passed something where they said like the FBI can go through your search history without a warrant.
Yeah.
Like and like how many people really know that? Like honestly, if you were to ask people like, did you know the FBI can just go through your internet search history without a warrant? Like they don't broadcast like these big announcements or
they don't because they can keep a hush hush.
Yeah, exactly, because they have full control of the media. Like right now, like what we're looking at is just like what they want us to see. They want us to be just. Hey,
I could have said it better myself.
Yeah, like that. I feel like that's part. Like again, like that's part of the reason why we're able to do what we're doing right now, being able to come out. Because like all these distractions that we're normally distracted with, like our regular regular television's still out there, but like Netflix and all that. But like basketball, sports, all that stuff. Like all that stuff came to a standstill. Yeah.
So what else is there left to
there's
focus
nothing
on?
to do. We have to.
Now we have to fight for ourselves.
Exactly.
Now we have to talk about political injustice because that's the only thing that's really to talk about.
Right, and it's not really just about the Black lives. Like that's the one thing I can't stand about people right now. They're saying, "Oh, Black lives, all lives matter." We get it. We understand that everybody.
We never said all lives didn't matter. That's for the record. We never said that.
But I feel like everybody does. Like for example, there was a guy who inboxed me yesterday. He went to school with me and he said, "Hey, what's this movement about not spending money? What's today? The 7th? June 7th." I was like,
is it June 7th or is it July 7th? I think it's July 7th.
July 7th? Yeah, it was July. I think it's July 7th.
It's July 7th.
Well, either way,
I was gonna say money. I failed already.
That Dunkin' run, I was like, oh, shoot.
Yeah, so July 7th, I was just telling him like, hey, look, there's part of a movement, not just Black people, but your money as well. We make up the economy, so we're trying to put the economy at a hold, so that way everybody
can show
money talks.
Yeah. Exactly. That's.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna I was telling Glenn that I wanted to make like a video, like talking about like another like an economic protest, the one we're doing right now that we could do to help with this, because like being a business major and getting into business and all that stuff, like I realized, like part of the reason why, like companies in the past have never really like spoken out and never said anything, because we keep giving them our money. Yeah. Like if you have a problem with something and if you go to McDonald's all the time and you're upset that, their ice cream machine is down, but you keep going to them, giving their money and they don't fix it, they're not gonna fix it because you're still getting them the money. Like,
which is so funny. I don't understand how their ice cream machine is always broken, which is crazy.
Right?
Well, you have to imagine that you wanted ice cream, so how many other people wanted ice cream?
I know, but
Devil's
still,
advocate.
I know, right? But at the same time, you gotta know if your demand is high, you gotta make sure your supply is right there. That's business 101 right there. But we're gonna get back to you, McDonald's. Don't worry, we're not done with you just yet. We're not done with you just yet. All right, guys. But no, that's what I was like. That's why I like the whole like economic like idea of protesting, because they need to see that we're we understand like how this processes work and whatnot.
Did you guys see what well, since you said that, did you guys see what the mayor of DC did?
No.
Oh my God,
About the black light.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the address
that?
for the White House is 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
Yeah.
Okay. She changed the street name to 1600 Black Lives Matter Avenue.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Not only did she do that, but in front of the White House, there's a park called Lafayette Square.
Yeah.
And on the route to the park, which is in front of the house, she put Black Lives Matter across the whole street.
Oh my
In
God.
yellow.
So as you're driving, like, it's completely noticeable. Like, you gotta see it. Like, even if I was in the car driving up the street, I'm like, what the hell is that on the floor?
It's beautiful.
Shout out to that
She's
black
like,
mayor.
you
Shout
may
out
be
to
the
you,
president,
sis.
but I'm the fucking king
I'm
of this
fucking,
town.
Yeah, I'm the
Exactly.
fucking mayor of this street.
So she
Fuck
has
outta here.
just as an influence as Trump does. So.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, like we focus so much on the election, the big election with the presidents.
Yes.
We have to make sure we're voting not just for that, but we have to vote within our cities.
Our delegates, our states.
Exactly.
Oh my God. That's amazing.
Right?
You gotta
I
make,
love it. I love it.
you gotta, change the cogs as
Exactly.
well,
Yeah.
As I saw that, I was like, oh my God,
No, that
Trump
was
is gonna
amazing.
shit bricks. And then the next day she did the street change, and I was like, wow, this woman.
Oh my God.
This woman right
1600
here.
Black Lives Matter.
Yep.
That's amazing.
Yep.
So-
Yep.
That's amazing. Is that like a permanent change?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it better
Yeah.
be.
Oh my
Somebody
God.
else would have to permanently change it
And
back,
back,
but if
yeah.
they do, it's gonna speak volume.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
exactly.
Because what they did that.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I like Pennsylvania, but my family's from Pennsylvania.
Desperate times call for desperate measures.
I'm so dead. That's crazy.
1600 Black Lives Matter,
All right,
but
but
not more than that.
I'm kind of saddened by the whole George Floyd death.
Yeah.
I think that really kind of spoke volume to why all this is happening right now, due to the fact that he died in a way that everybody saw. Like, it was like public execution.
Yeah.
And that right there, like, you will hear on the news how, oh, black kid dies and organs taken out, rolled up in a rug in
Yes.
school.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I
Like,
forgot his name,
you
but I
hear all
said
these
that too.
stories, but to
Ahmaud.
act,
No.
No, it was
No.
Oh.
there's been so,
So
many
many
stories.
stories.
Yeah,
yes.
no, like people are starting to like we're like this. People are really starting to bring out all like past crimes. We're just like, no, we're not gonna keep this energy up. We're gonna get justice for
because it was ruled
everyone.
out as a suicide.
Suicide.
Yeah.
Like, how do you
How do you
roll
roll out your own organs and roll yourself up in a freaking mat and then put yourself in the garbage can? I don't
That's
understand how you
Russian
do
type
that.
shit, man.
Yeah.
I guess it really just took everybody to just, like you said a while ago, like, this is the great pause. So now we actually have time to digest what
Yeah,
actually happened. You know, if
exactly.
we were back fully in the swing of things, I don't
No,
know
like
if it would
this
happen.
wouldn't have happened completely.
You know,
Because
everybody's worried about work and
yeah,
whatever.
work. Like the NBA season would have been going off. People would have been just like, oh wow, like so
casual
Bob
murder.
Dylan-
Because
Black
everybody-
man died.
everybody's
All right, so let me
attention
tell
span
you
is
about
so
what
short.
LeBron's stats
Yeah,
are,
exactly. Like,
Exactly.
there's just too many distractions. But now we're able to focus full front
Yeah.
on we need to. And this is like one of the things too that we just need to make sure that we keep up. Like we just can't keep getting distracted. I mean, like, there are
You're right. You're absolutely
Yeah.
right. Because we get distracted.
distracted. There are few people, like, well, not few, but there's plenty of people who do keep to the matters and understand that like this is going on. But until it's as a collective effort as it is right now, like there's no point because the people who oppose us, they do it in like fronts, and they have groups of people who like stick to their cause. For us, it's just like there's a couple of us who keep like who will like think about this and think about change and all that. But then there's like others who just like like I'm struggling.
Change.
Yeah, like
I'm struggling. I don't see why I'm not being helped. How can I help you if I
yeah,
can't?
exactly.
Yeah.
You just gotta do it. Like, honestly, like, what is Nike? Is that Nike logo? Just do it.
Just
do it.
Yeah, you just gotta do it.
Just do Shia LaBeouf, you know?
Yeah,
exactly.
just do it.
Just do it.
Like, you just gotta do it. Be the change. Be the cause. Like that's it.
And to like tie back into the voting, you know, it's not just like going to the poll and picking whoever. You know, it's really doing the research and figuring it out. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Like to this day, I definitely when those like pre-ballots came in with all the names, I'd be like, "What the fuck is this? I'm not taking this shit. Whatever."
I do the same shit.
But now I'm like, oh my god, like who knows who I vote? You know what I mean? Like
exactly.
I see a Democrat, and then, you know, originally before 2016, I'm not gonna lie, I was an independent because I felt like, you know, there could have been don't judge me. Listen. There could have been other values that somebody else could have brought to the table. Are they successful enough to bring it to the table? Not every Democrat is going to be for black people. And definitely Republicans have shown us time and time again that they are definitely, you know, not the strongest for black people.
Why is money in politics? I don't understand that though.
Money?
But
Yeah, because money runs the world.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Money rule the world.
See, and that's like part of the reason, like just going back to the whole like economic protest thing. That's why I want to do like the economic protest because, you know, like there's just way too thin of a line between, you know, like, you know, corporations and like all the lobbyists that go between like, you know, the politics. Like, why is that a thing here? Why are we letting, you know, people allow lobbyists to just like control their business efforts into like our government? Like that shouldn't be like something
that shouldn't be a thing.
Yeah, so like that's why I want you know, like that economic protest, like say like, you know, like hey, like stop fucking with our money.
Yeah.
You know, and like, you know, do what's good for the people, what we ask for, and not, you know, all like just so you can keep running, you know, your corporations and like just keep taking like our tax money away from us to do whatever you guys want to.
Yeah, because I don't see any of that money going back into the system. Like
it's not.
It's very, very little.
Where's that trickle down?
Yeah,
where is it?
Does anybody know where we got our check from? The that what was it? 1,200.
I don't even think I
really
got
feel
that.
like they just printed it out and was like, yeah, just deposit this real quick.
Oh, because they can.
No, that's
they can,
no,
they can.
that's exactly what
there
they
was
do.
no money in the government, especially during a time where everything came to a stop. There wasn't enough money to go to all the other delegates to pay everybody else in government.
And this is why we're in so much debt.
Yeah. No, exactly. No, that's exactly what they're doing. They're printing out loads of money. They're putting it, they're investing it back into the stock market, into other big, you know, like corporations to like, you know, bail them out and whatnot. And then they give us like a little like, you know, like
penny change.
1,200, you know, like here's something to make it look like, you know, make it look like
here's enough for some of your rent.
Exactly.
For half of your rent.
While they're not canceling out like mortgages and like other bills that, you know, people need to be able to like suffice in their just everyday lives. But, you know, all these big, you know, like American Airlines, I forget how much they got, but they got a lot of money, like within, you know, billions, not billions, is it billions? Yeah, I think billions, probably billions of money, but like they still got those billions to be able to like, you know, like keep their employees and like pay them off. Yeah. But they laid off thousands of their employees. And I'm sitting here like, why are you giving them money for them to still lay off all their employees? Like, what is all this money, you know, going to, and like why, like
it's not going back to the workers.
Exactly.
It's going back to the kingpins and the CEOs.
Exactly, and that's what we need.
They knew exactly what they were doing with that move. Yeah.
And that's why I want like money to be the thing that helps unite us. Like I feel like, you know, green shouldn't be like the cause. I feel like, you know, us just being
green,
you know,
for earth, not for money,
right? But I feel like, you know, being kind-minded individual, I feel like just basic human rights should be the thing that unites us together. But clearly we can't have that yet. So like, you know, I'm thinking money will be the thing that unites us.
That's what it is.
Yeah. If people understand that, like, yo, like, despite how you feel about us, you know, like middle-class white people, you're in the same boat as, you know, black people, because we're all just money to like all these people, the 1%. We're just all just like, all right, I can just grab money from them and it won't matter.
Yeah, because there's money in everything. Even if we die, there's life insurance and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But once we actually, while we're living, that's when we have the choice in where we spend our money and how it's used. Because they don't care if we get murdered or we die or anything, because that's just another way to get money.
But I do think we should tax the rich, though.
Definitely.
Because
they know what they're doing. Like that's why like all those, you know, Congress people, they have that like 20-year term. And they just go in, fill their pockets, and then
that's exactly why it was such a big issue when it came to the election on because I think it was trying to get passed as a law, and it got vetoed because they were like, "Hell no, we're not gonna, come in here and take our money."
Well,
hell no.
Just as important as senators and representatives and the president, don't forget about the small elections, like the judge, the sheriff.
Oh my god!
And that's what I'm talking. Thank you. That's what I'm talking about. Like, we need to start voting on those type of elections. Like, we don't focus so much on it because it's like, who? All right.
Yeah. The guy who's been doing it for the past 20 years. I'm not dead yet, so
yeah. But we gotta focus on that thing because we don't know their backgrounds. We don't know where they're coming from. We don't know how long they've been sitting in the chair. Like, what have they been doing for the community?
And sometimes people just get comfortable with the names that they hear. They'll be like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I've heard this person.
Exactly.
This person sounds good to me. She's already been there.
Hell
so
no, man. We gotta start voting.
It's about finding what's best for your people, and perhaps looking into it. Maybe the guy that's currently in there is the best, and he's like doing a bang ass job. But you have to at least check on who's running against them,
Exactly. Because that's the thing. People...
You can't have blind loyalty.
There we...
Ooh, another one.
Okay, I see you, Glenn. My dog speaking facts. But I'm going to go back to George Floyd. I don't know if you guys caught his service or anything. I didn't get a chance to actually really watch it.
I've just heard little things.
I saw bits and pieces.
Okay. I didn't actually get a chance to watch it, but I'm going to go back to the night where I was watching CNN. And I'm not a big news person. Like, I don't really watch the news. I'd rather read than watch the news.
Yeah, exactly.
But I was watching the news because they're just going ham on, like, talking about George Floyd's death. And they showed the video of how, like, the cop had his knee on his neck, and when you look at this guy's face and you see the life literally like go
squeezed down.
Yeah, like it is, bro. That took me to a whole nother level.
He took his last breath.
Yeah, I was so pissed. I was so angry. I was getting heated. I was getting mad. I wanted to cry at one point, and it was just so sad to watch this man cry for his mom. And literally, bro, all I thought about, like, dang, bro, what if that was me and I had to scream for my mom? Yeah. One, my mom ain't gonna tolerate that because my mom gonna have to whoop somebody's ass. but I don't think his mom is alive, so I don't think she.
No, he was literally just like it was almost like calling to the heavens.
Yeah.
Like he knew his mom wasn't there, but there was nothing you could do.
Dude, like, and like to think like that, like how big of a man he was like 6'4". Like, you saw how muscular he was. For someone like him just to be like calling out for his mama right there, and then like that speaks volume to like the situation that he was in. Like, he's just like, wow, like this is really happening to me. Like, I have no help. Like, mom, please, like, help me, I'm scared. Like, but like just the fact that people have no empathy for that. They just think, it's just like, wow, like that, like they're just using this as an excuse for,
and that's America's part of the problem, bro. Yes. Like, they look at that and you see these trends, and for some of these white kids, like, they're going around doing these challenges. I don't know if y'all know about that.
Yeah, I've seen that.
But that is like...
But go ahead and explain real quick for like anybody who might not know.
So basically...
What are white people doing?
So
what am I missing out?
What is my kind doing?
What's my next weekend going to be?
So what they're doing on Snapchat is, I think they call it the George Floyd Challenge.
Fuck.
Yeah, so they take their brother, sister, whoever they got next to them, and they put their knee on their neck and they hashtag it. And they send it,
and they literally like whine, like, "Oh, I can't breathe!"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh,
that's so
God.
sick."
Where's the meteor?
I've only seen pictures.
At this point, I'm ready for a meteor.
No,
I heard there's one coming.
No, it's Yellowstone. It's Yellowstone. Yellowstone got a bunch of little earthquakes going around it. Yellowstone's about to pop off. Like, all right, and like, no offense, it's in like the Midwest. Part of the town, so like...
But I don't know what the hell happened after Kobe died, but this shit took a hard left.
It's the spirit of Kobe.
Yeah, for real.
This shit went left real quick.
Kobe's like, you will not kill any more black people now that I'm up here.
Said COVID, Black Lives Matter. This shit's wild, bro. What's next? Meteor? Like, what? This is too much.
It's crazy. Do you remember the case a while ago where... there's this white kid who like was drunk and like he killed a bunch of people driving off the road.
In Wellington?
No, it was somewhere else. but he got found, like, the judge condemned him with affluenza. You know what that means? He's too rich to know better, not to kill people.
Wow.
He's too rich not to know, like, driving drunk and running into people is bad.
I can't believe that's a legitimate thing where you could be like, I'm too rich to know this.
He got off.
Then you use it in court.
On probation. And even after getting off killing, I think he killed like 2, 3, 4 people. Like,
are you kidding me?
Oh my God.
Like, plowed straight into them. No remorse, whatever.
God.
Even after that, he and his mother, like, bailed town into Mexico, where they were caught once more. Like, holy crap. And then there's the other case of affluenza, Brock Turner.
I was just about to bring that up. I was just about to
Convicted
be like, that's
rapist.
the same thing. Yeah.
Brock
We're
Turner.
taking down racist and racist. I
Months,
forgot.
yeah.
Rapist
We're taking
and
down
racist.
the 2 R's.
Yeah,
all 2020.
Yeah, get them, kill them. I mean, well, not kill them.
I mean, like, if they deserve the death penalty, then, give them
Sorry,
the death penalty.
I was a little angry.
For real though, Brock Turner like really pissed me off because so many women, like women of any background, come out and talk about these stories, and like, not to get into the other R conversation, but there's so many other stories from other women, even myself. Like, there's so many stories, and then it's like none of us can get our voice heard because it's like whatever.
And that's
he's white. The
Kavanaugh.
majority of the time, it happens because.
He's what? Yeah.
And they could get away with it. And
Exactly.
it's like, I'm not even trying to, like, you know what I mean? It's at the end of the
You
day,
don't see
like,
any rich black people getting away with that.
Like, it doesn't matter
Wow,
how
you
rich or
don't.
poor you are in the black community, like, you are still going to get, like, damn near a death sentence.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you're white, like, all of a sudden, it's like, okay.
Hey,
Mental illness.
You just had a fun night. You just had a fun night.
I don't
You
just like,
won.
no, you just, you don't know
just
any
too
better right
drunk.
there.
How about that piece of shit Brett Kavanaugh, who's now on the Supreme Court, even though, like, it's pretty clear that he he like raped a girl.
He definitely
Like
raped a
Ford.
I mean, so did Trump. So like,
Yeah, exactly. But
multiple women.
Drain the swamp.
That's like, see, like,
Seriously.
I see, like,
seriously.
people always say, like, I mean, like, I'm not disagreeing with the whole voting. That's definitely something we need to do. But that's why I'm glad, like, that's why I want, like, like, kind of reform right now. Like, I want to vote. Like, I'm going to vote. I do vote. Like, but I don't want voting to be like the way that we're
used to it.
Yeah, like,
It's
voting.
not even going to be the end all be
That
all.
starts from the small election. That's
No, I know, but
judges
I get
who
what
actually put
I get what you're saying, but like the fact, like you hear like all these stories that we're talking about right now. Like, guess how many people who are already within that system of just systematic racism, who are already in that system. Like, like, I get vote. We can't vote out judges, by the way, and Trump's putting a shit ton of judges, Republican judges in, but nobody wants to talk about that real quick. But
there's definitely elections for judges.
There's for like a Supreme Court judge.
No,
I think
Supreme
it's just
Court.
Yeah,
for
Supreme
one.
Court is elected.
No, but
I
like
don't think it's like all the judges in your city. I think it's like you can vote for one head judge.
Yeah. There's certain judges where if you're appointed a position as a judge, you just don't.
It's for life.
Yeah. But like what I was getting, like, that's why, like, I want, like, like, I like the protests and, like, I want, like, reform now because they want us to vote and all that stuff, but like, at the same time, like, why should we have to vote for rights like this? Like, for basic human rights. Are we China right now? Like, in China, like, they, like, they don't have, like, that option. Like, we shouldn't be voting just, like, for women to be heard. Yeah. Like, when they're being, when there's, like, rapes, like, like, when, like, like, ICE is taking out, like, immigrants left and right. When, black people are being, persecuted, like, the way we are. And, like, any other, like, minority group that are being persecuted. Like, why is that something that, like, oh, you just need to go out and vote and just, like, take those people? Like, that's not how, like, this... I get it. I get it. I get it. Like, yeah, that's the way we need to do it. But like, why are we just thinking that way? Just like, yeah, no, it's okay. Let's just vote it out. Like, no, fuck that, bro. Like, I like, come on. Like, in other countries,
I'm assuming you didn't like the last election either, huh? He's so mad.
No, I am like it's just like so frustrating. Like,
Woody.
just hearing people just like, oh no, we just gotta just vote it out. I'm just like. God, bro.
I think if
it
people
starts
think
from somewhere, though.
yeah,
It does.
I think if people only think that voting it out is going to change the world, they need a reality check.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you can do more. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to go to a protest to understand Black Lives Matter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the same concept. Like, it's not one thing that's going to wash away everything.
Mm-hmm.
But we have to communicate and stand together and say, hey, like, did you know that you could do X, Y, Z?
Yeah.
Hey, did you know
That's
that you could do
why I
ABCD?
want.
Voting.
That's why I want America
Whatever
to
it is.
atone for its sins. Like if. Like, you know, America,
Atone.
if America could just come out and say, like, we wronged, like, our minorities, like, our Native Americans, our Black communities, our Hispanic, if they, like, you know, like, people come out and say that, that's a good starting point, you know, to be able to, like, all right, then now I have a reason to vote and, like, all that good stuff. But, like, the fact that we're not doing that, and we're just kind of, like, keeping everything kind of just, like, oh, hopefully they won't bring this up, you know, that, because from, like, what I see from, like, because I don't like to watch, you know, like, national news a lot, but, you know, I like to read, you know, like, credible sources and whatnot, but, like, you see what they're putting out on, like, the newsfeed. They're just trying to make it like we're only, you know, fighting for police brutality. It's not just that. We want the bigger picture.
Human
too.
rights.
Like, we want that systematic to be like done for and whatnot.
Good.
Human rights, bro.
Yeah,
all of human
exactly.
rights. Like, that's what it is. That's what the Black Lives Matter movement is. It's for all of human rights. Like, I don't understand why people have a problem with that. Why do people have a problem with basic human rights? I don't want to watch somebody knee on somebody's neck and watch the life.
No.
Yeah, like in general.
I don't want to see.
You know
I don't
what
want
I
to
mean?
see
Even
any
if
of that.
it was like a brown or a Hispanic or a white guy, like I would not be
Get
okay
with
with
that
what's happening.
happening.
Like
No.
it doesn't matter. Like I'm very proud that Black people are standing up right now because I feel like everybody's fed up. But like you said, like I just don't want like this shouldn't be happening in general.
It shouldn't.
Why is
Honestly.
this even happening? You know,
And
that's the bigger question.
And it's just a problem for everybody. And I don't understand, like, somebody on my Facebook page had said, and I don't mention names, but somebody had on my Facebook page said, I get that we're all for Black people, but what about the Spanish community? What about the people who are locked up in cages? And what I said to this young lady was, I said, I understand that there's a whole movement for Black Lives Matter that is going on. However, the people who are locked up in cages, we feel for them as well. And when there was protests, it wasn't
Public just Spanish people there, but it wasn't just. If you look at the pictures, like there was a. Sorry, not to
go ahead.
Cut you off, but when you look at the pictures of like those, you know, the ICE deportation, like banning ICE, all of those things, there was a lot of like everybody in the mix. It was a lot of. It wasn't just like Spanish people there. It was mostly like a lot of Black people when I look back at those pictures. So you know, for some Spanish people to say like, oh, you know, you weren't there when ICE was going on, it's like. We're there all the time. Yeah, right.
But we were protesting. Black people were protesting during that time too as well. It wasn't as publicized as what's going on now, but Black people were there, just like white people were there protesting because people shouldn't be locked up in cages. Yeah, it doesn't it's human rights, and that is why the Black Lives Matter movement. It's
for all the forgotten.
It is. So people just need to get out of that bubble, think outside the box, and be a part of the movement. And it's all about love and care at the end of the day.
Yo, shout out to the white people out there, you know, Glenn, yourself, your family, that are actually, you know, out there standing up for the situation. Like, honestly, can I do it? Well, honestly, like
open my hand and something else.
Like for me, when I talk sometimes, like I always I feel like I talk because like the way I think in my head, you know, like I always like kind of make it like, you know, like I always say like, you know, brown minorities, this and that. It's not that I don't care for like the white counterpart. It's just like I definitely do care for them. It's just. I don't know, like in my
Their
head,
house isn't on fire.
No,
exactly.
Exactly.
Their house is not on fire right now.
Wow.
I'm not trying to say, you know, like this,
That's all you did there. I see what you did there. Kudos.
It's not just like, you know, like we don't care for them, but again, their house is not on fire. Like they're out there supporting us as well. Like I don't want to like it's not like a racial divide thing, you know. Like
absolutely not.
It's at this point it's not a racial divide. It's ideology at this point. That's all it is. This is an ideology. It's
making the connection.
Divide. And you know I was thinking in my head too like we're going like this is weird times. Like we're going through like what I consider like a social evolution. And that's what we're like fighting right now because like we have like old school philosophy where you know like You know, there's certain people like, cause like I don't want to just say it's white people, cause there's black people, there's black people like Candace. Like you saw what Candace, Owen Candace.
Bro, I cannot stand her.
Oh, wait, run me down. Who's Owen Candace?
Owen, she, I don't know if she. I think she might be a Republican, but like she.
Let's just say she's one of those typical black people who think like her shit doesn't stink.
Okay.
Stacey died.
And like she made it. I didn't watch the entire video, so I'm not really gonna like like try to like I'm only just gonna talk about what I like the few that the promos that I heard. But like she was like, oh, I don't support George Floyd. Like I don't know if she did like I don't know what she meant by like I don't support George Floyd. I was like, what do you? I don't know what she meant by that. But like her point was like she didn't like support like that whole cause because she's trying to get at fuck, I should have reviewed this before I said this. But like I think she was trying to say like there are
it's okay.
Like, yeah, like I just can't like
it's all right.
Take it back.
Yeah, I'm trying to like she like some like she doesn't justify
the protests and riots because of his death.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like a lot of people are like that.
They don't. They look at. They want to always go reflect back at like, oh, he did that. First off, my dog walked into a store with $20, literally just handed the cash, handed it to the guy. The guy called the clerk, the cops. The cops came, kneed him down. More of the story. Short end of the story. Yeah. It was a counterfeit $20 bill. So,
but how do you know? Like hypothetically, right? Like you work at a bank. I used to work at a bank. You know, like we know how to spot a counterfeit $20 bill. You know what I mean? Not everybody, unless you don't have the marker or whatever it is. Like a regular person comes to a store, gets money back, gets cash back from whatever, from wherever, whatever. Oh, I went to Walmart. I used a $100 bill. I got a $20 bill back from the machine. Mm-hmm. If I go and I spend this $20 bill and I'm just a regular schmegular, I don't have a pen. I don't have anything to mark or prove that this is not counterfeit. Like I just feel like it was so unjust. For just $20, it wasn't.
Oh yeah, obviously,
it was
yeah.
so unjust for just $20.
No, yeah.
It was like, okay, if this was a $100 bill, okay, we have a problem. But I just feel like it was just absurd, you know? Because you could go to the bank and be like, "Hey, I got this counterfeit 20. Can you give me a real 20?" And they'll do it.
Yeah,
they'll do it.
Yeah, because
there's no problem, and maybe a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, no.
Maybe a lot of people don't know that. But you could, if you get counterfeit money, you can just be like, "Hey." Yeah. I went to this store. I got this counterfeit money. Can I just have an exchange? Sure, okay, no problem.
Right? No, because that happened to my dad. My dad literally told me the story. What? He said literally he got money.
Some Monopoly money.
But my dad took some money from the bank. He went to the store. I forgot whatever it was store he said he was going to. But the lady said this whatever bill he gave her is fake. He was like, really? I just got it from the bank. He said, yeah, you just need to tell them and take it back to the bank and they'll exchange it for you. My dad did that. No problems.
No problem.
Wow,
so it's like, it's crazy because it's not like, okay, if I go to a store, I'm expecting to get counterfeit money. I'm not going to sit there and check all my money before you know what I mean? I'm expecting a company to do what a company does, give me back whatever money. So it's like, for him to just die over... Exactly. A counterfeit $20 bill that y'all could have just took to the bank at the end of the day when you close out your register. Mm-hmm. That's absurd.
No, it
as a business is. Like from a business major standpoint, that's like wow, you just couldn't just.
And I'm not gonna say I have a problem with police officers because one of my old friends, she's a police officer.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I commend her. Shout out to my dog. I ain't gonna mention your name.
Yeah, but you know who you are. You know who you are.
Shout out to my dog. All right, you holding it down in Palm Beach, eh? Real talk, like I commend the work that she does. Like she's a very smart person. She's very genuine at heart, and she's actually helping her public, her community. When it comes to certain cops and certain people, I think sometimes like if you're a cop and you're having a bad day, just like anybody else is gonna be at work and they're having a bad day, stay your ass home. Cause I'm not trying to lose my life, and when I do eventually have kids, I don't want them to risk their lives as well.
Exactly.
So there has to be like reform. There definitely has to be a reform across the board, statewide, in all 50 states. Like it just has to change. The way policing is, the way policing hours are, even when it comes to training at the academy, like all those things have to change. Because if that does not change, it will continue on and continue on. And I promise you, what's happening right now, like these small riots and lootings that are going on, it will get worse to the point where Black America is gonna be like, y'all tore down Black Wall Street, so we gonna fuck this shit up too.
Oh my god, talking about Black Wall Street, bro. Like, holy shit. Before I get into that, I just want to know because like one of the things because like I'm not a big fan of wasted energy because I'm all about efficiency. So
okay,
yeah, because like I mean, one of the things that kind of did like upset me with the protest was I can understand where other people from like the other side were kind of like had problems with the protest. What do you specifically, if from like your perspectives, like what do you guys want? All right, so like I know like majority of people want justice for not only George Floyd but like Breonna Taylor as well.
Hey,
yeah,
nah, fuck it up, burn the whole thing down.
Burn the whole thing.
I definitely understand where people are coming from. They're angry, they're upset. This has been happening for a long time, and now it's taking a nation, like even globally, it's like now a global situation, but also because Black people are everywhere, Africans go to China to get education, like people outsource, people go to other places to do other things. So the fact that this is a global situation is like, wow, this is amazing. But also in the same standpoint, it's like white people, I can't say that, people
I know it's so hard, bro. Like being Black, bro, just like it's hard just not to.
So like I understand why people are mad. I see both sides. I get it. You don't want.
Glenn, from your point of view as a Caucasian American,
that's actually a good question.
What would you like to see like from the protest? Like what demands do you want to see like specifically?
What demands?
Yeah, because like I know like some like the problem with like like the argument that some people are having with the protest, I feel, is there's like no demands, like people are just mad that the people are out here protesting for injustice, but like there's no like we don't have like we're not organized enough.
We need organization.
Yeah, we need like a set of demands that we want implemented. Like like I get it going out to protest because like I was at like one of the first like protests in Lake Worth and whatnot.
Okay, my dog.
Yeah, I don't know. But like like I get it. We want justice as well. But like what other like we needed to come in with like demands in an organization. Like and I feel like. Who do we listen to the NAACP? Like what demands are they like requiring for us? Like what like that's just like my
the NAACP should have been on this.
Yeah,
but see that's the thing, bro. I do not trust big organizations. No. I just don't trust them.
After that whole Rachel Dolezal thing, I was like,
oh my god,
yeah, I gotta bounce. I don't know if I can.
I think I've been under a rock. I don't know what is
the white girl who thinks she's a black woman.
Rachel Dolezal was like the president or like the head of the NAACP for like years, and everybody thought she was just a light skinned black woman, and in reality, she was just white. She was
like that one.
Okay. She did like an afro. Like she literally like changed her hair texture. She tanned a lot. She did so many things.
She's
I think she even had like a nose surgery to
my god.
Change her nose. It was just a lot. I did not trust it.
Me and him watched this video of this dude, this white dude who has like black power on one arm, fuck whites on the other, who's like getting literally melatonin injections into his skin to make him darker. Yeah. And he's like he talks in like a very stereotypical like black accent. Wow. He even got like cornrow extensions for himself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he swears that he's you know, like one of those people who feel like he was born in the wrong body. Like he's definitely a Caucasian male who believes he is African American. So like he goes around, you know, saying that like, oh yeah, I'm black. If any of y'all white people trying to do this, y'all can't do that. Y'all may be thinking that I am, well, like I was light skinned, very light skinned at one point. Yeah, look at him. Look at him.
What?
Yeah.
That's crazy because wow.
He swears that he's black, but it's the funny thing is like he condemns other white people for trying to do what he does because he's just like, no, I'm black with just like a pigment deficiency or something like that.
He was like, I don't know why. When I was very young, I was like very light.
Yeah, he doesn't acknowledge that he's white. He's just like, I'm very light skinned. Like in my old videos, you may be thinking that I'm light skinned. You're very light skinned. He doesn't say he's ever white, bro. He's just I'm light skinned.
Like that blows my mind. That's crazy.
I
know. There's people out there.
It's crazy. I don't know. Like he's like the equivalent of a weeboo, like a white person who loves like Japanese anime stuff to the extreme for like African American culture. You know,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's like.
All right, I like anime.
Racist or like
he's
if
like
it's
Uncle
just
Ruckus.
the most exactly
Uncle Ruckus, boy.
negative Uncle Ruckus. Huh? Negative Uncle Ruckus.
Yeah.
What he said, yeah.
Dang, shout out to the Boondocks. Hey,
Boondocks.
Can I speak on that for a second,
Go
real
ahead.
quick?
Yeah.
All right, so I was watching the Boondocks a few days ago. My dog Huey speaks so much about the injustice in the system. Like when I was a kid, I didn't really understand it. I was just like, my dog.
Yeah, he's funny.
Yo, right,
He's
right.
funny.
But when you go back and rewatch those shows, yo, it's so deep.
Slaps,
yeah, it's deeper on the.
We need to get
level.
the Boondocks trending on Netflix or something. We need to bring that back,
Oh,
and that's
yes.
that's what Netflix really needs
Fuck
to
the
do.
Avatar.
No, Avatar's nice.
It's
Oh my
agree
god,
with
bro!
the Avatar.
Did you even watch the Avatar? Yeah, you didn't watch the Avatar when you were younger. Shut up, nigga. Oh no,
It's
you
just
didn't.
about fucking kids.
Did you watch the whole thing? Have you watched the whole thing?
I'm just saying.
It's spiritual.
I didn't get into
Harry Potter's
Avatar
better.
until like the last season. Yeah, Harry Potter's pretty good.
Okay.
I didn't get into Avatar until the last season, so I'm rewatching it now, and I'm just like, wow.
It's great.
deep.
It's
Yeah,
good.
wow.
It is. And I'm not gonna lie, my dog Sasuke. Not Sasuke. Sasuke. I'm thinking of Naruto. Shoot, too many animes.
Yeah,
bro.
honestly.
But my dog, damn.
Zuko?
No, not Zuko.
Aang,
Aang? Cortana?
brother.
I don't know.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I lost
Zuko?
it too.
No.
No.
Oh my.
Yeah, why can't we
gosh,
remember
bro.
his name?
I was
It's 'cause
just
I'm thinking of
watching
too
it
much.
last night.
Damn.
I can remember everyone else. Literally, because that was my nigga, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. That was my nigga, bro. Like, I can't
Zuko?
remember his name.
Yeah, just look at Cortana's brother.
Avatar,
Yeah.
brother.
My God, bro. But yeah, Glenn, on your free time, you need to watch that. You need to get informed
Katara.
on why.
Yeah, who's Katara's brother?
Where is
Yeah, I
that?
can't believe I'm at a blank. His
Bro,
name starts with-
we're both like
name
that.
starts
We're
with
all
an S,
looking
literally.
like, we're like, who?
Yeah, what's his name?
Siblings. There he is.
Yeah.
Soka.
Soka.
Is it really Soka?
No,
It
that's
doesn't
not
say.
right.
Soka?
Sak-
Soka. I want to say Sokka.
You was close. Saka.
Sake?
Wow, we can't even pronounce this.
No, I can't.
Don't worry, I'm gonna watch it tonight. I'm gonna get it together.
Yo, I can't. I'm at a loss. Yo, but I'm just gonna say he had me dying in every episode. Just a heads
He was
up.
very
Bro,
funny.
he's
He was
great,
the kid.
bro.
He was the perfect humor in that. Honestly, I think the Avatar is considered an animated man. It's just
Yeah,
it's that
like
good.
that the level that it's at, and like the fact that like with American cartoons, they don't get into like too much philosophy, you know. Like
They don't.
I like those cartoons that kind of get into like, you know, philosophical conversations sometimes. You know, I haven't gotten too deep
Iroh.
into what's it called?
One Piece.
One Piece is my shiznit. I'm caught up with One Piece.
Anime?
No, it's a cartoon. With that guy with the curly hair and those gems.
Steven Universe.
Steven Universe,
Oh, yeah.
like Steven Universe, like I've never
I heard
gotten.
Steven Universe is
is-
really
yeah,
good.
I kind of
Good,
hate it.
Really?
Well, you hate it
Yeah.
too. Okay, Glenn, I'm not gonna talk to you about like, any type of cartoon, bro. Like this
I
is,
hate that style of cartoon.
what
It's called Cal art style. Once you see that style that they're doing, like with the characters, you see it in so many other things, is just so boring and bland. Plus, I don't really like the music. Yeah,
and like I said, philosophical
like
issues.
I'm like that too. If the music doesn't hit right, like, the art doesn't seem right, it's a dub for me. Yeah,
I get that.
Also, it kind of loses itself at the end.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah, it gets a little.
Check it out. You know what? If you watch it, I'll watch it.
I'll watch it, yeah, because I because it goes into like the LBG, it goes into LBG community and all that, like in the talk, like
that's good.
Yeah, and it gets like that's why like like shows it has meaning behind it. It's just not like here go watch this, just like lose whatever brain cells that you got going on just so you can be entertained. Like I like it makes you think about things. Dang. But yeah,
it's the difference between episodic and serialized television.
Ooh. Oh, that man said episodic.
I know. I said big words.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, my vocabulary has been slacking. Like the only big words I know are just like managerial words and whatnot. Go ahead, vibing and just reset.